Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Oma. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm part of the Wings Within Foundation. Since we all know, June month is a dedicated towards the pride communities. Wings Within our foundation also provide a contribution to for a pride community. It's a working towards the empowerment and life skills with the deprived women and LGBTQ community. So we all know pride is a celebration of identity, gender, race, sexuality, and every other minority. In the current scenario, people with various sexual orientation they face multiple discrimination in the society as well as workplaces. They go through the discrimination stigmas from the last decades. So that is why it's a very important to we need to be support the LGBTQ community. As a part of supporting the community, it's very important to understanding the basic concepts of sex, gender, stereotypes, and what are the problems they are facing and what are the rights they have. Because when we have a in-depth knowledge, it's actually will us to how we can help them. The main aim of the presentation is to educate ourselves and educate the others and as well as support the LGBTQ community. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aditi, and today I'm going to be talking about sex and gender. So, first, I'll talk about sex. Sex is the biological aspect of a human being, which is uh, assigned during birth. So, during birth, you're assigned as either male or female, which is the majority, and the minority is intersex. And sex is determined through physical and physiological features such as chromosomal expression, gene expression, hormone levels, etc. There are mainly three types of sex. The majority falls under males or females. Male sex are the people who have male genitalia and male reproductive organs, which is testes, penis, scrotum, and they produce the male gamete known as the sperm. And females are the organisms whose sex females are the organisms who have the female gamete called as the ovum, and they have a female reproductive system which involves the ovaries, fallopian tube, vagina, etc. And these are the majority of the categories in sex. The categories which do not fall under male or female are called intersex. So intersex is has many different types of sex under it, and it is an umbrella term. And this happens when there are natural variations in biological or physiological characteristics. Some of the examples are, one is Klinefelter syndrome, in which there is a chromosomal difference when usually males have XY chromosomes. People with Klinefelter syndrome have an extra X chromosome. So this causes different physical changes in their body, such as growths of breasts and infertility and a small penis, etc. And another example can be Turner syndrome, where instead of female chromosomes, which is X and X, people with Turner syndrome have X and O, which is one of the X chromosome is missing. So this also causes physical changes, such as infertility and uh, the not delay, but growth of the secondary sexual characteristics is very minimal. So next is gender. So the American Psychological Association defines gender as attitudes, feelings, and behaviors that a given culture associates with a person's biological sex. So gender is something that is socially constructed, as in people give various roles and relations norms to different biological sex, which is males have different roles and norms which such as males are usually considered as risk takers or more confident than women, which is something that uh, the society considers the male gender as, and females are more of the homemakers who are more emotionally mature, etc. And this is how some of the societies view female gender as. And these values are often upheld and they are preached everywhere. They're taught to children since their birth. So in media or religion, education systems, at home, everywhere, such values are implemented. And people or children who don't fall under these categories of the social construct of gender, they are discriminated against, and uh, they are discriminated and they do not get equal opportunities or rights, which affect their mental and physical health very severely. And the next thing is gender identity. So, gender identity is a psychological sense of self. The person feels whether they are a male, female, or neither. It is irrespective of what their biological sex is. So, the factors that determine biological sex, uh, sex is determined only through this, which is biological. Males have X and Y chromosomes, and the females have XX chromosomes. So, if the X chromosome of the male meets the X chromosome of the female, then they produce a girl child. And if the Y chromosome of the male and the X chromosome of the female meet, they produce a boy child. And sometimes there are variations where this does not happen. So that is how intersex people uh, are born. And so some of the factors that may cause intersex, like I said, the biological variations, genetic conditions, or chromosomal abnormalities, and variations of the androgen hormone receptor gene. So when after fertilization of the sperm and the egg, it forms an embryo where the sex of the embryo is determined by the amount of androgen hormone. So the androgen hormone, if there is excess androgen hormone, then it becomes a male. If there is less androgen hormone, it becomes a female. So when there is variations in the receptor gene of this hormone, intersex people can be born. And but there are no exact one reason for being intersex. Next are the factors that determine gender. So one is the biological factors. During prenatal state, um, the hormone levels in the mother's body, there are some conditions where the mother may have excess levels of androgen naturally in her body. And studies have shown that such babies grow out, even though they may be female, but how they express themselves is similar to boys. So their gender may turn out to be male. This is due to excess amount of androgen, and they may show characteristics that are considered that males show. And postnatal is how it is also related to the social factors, which is how after seeing the assignment of sex, whether they are a male or female, the parents decide how they want to raise them. So depending on the society, how they consider males are and females are, that is how these kids are also raised, which is also seen in other things such as mass media and family, friends, etc. So environment and gender stereotypes, all of these play a major role in formation of gender. So I would like to end my presentation there. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi, to sharing what is gender, what is sex, and what are the factors is influencing the deciding the gender.